Either you like shouting loudly or refusing to spell properly. Let us dive in on how to be an Orkish warboss with Narrative Crusades. As an update, we do free giveaways each month for our patrons, which you can join for as little as £3 and the winner chooses their loot. We also have a Discord, so just come and get involved. Over the next 2 weeks, our ongoing campaign continues with our latest mission to defend the generators currently going on in the Imperium's favour. Once again, get involved, get the mission, and submit your results to affect the outcome. The links are below. When putting an army together, you may choose to go for an all-round balanced list that takes on all comers, or maybe you want to go heavy into clan culture of one of the many Orc tribes. The most renowned of these are the Goths, who, as you expect, are clad in black armour, often with white and black checkerboard patterns adorning it. As a clan, they swarm in such numbers that it's said that the ground shakes heralding their arrival. The Goths will use anything and everything when they go to battle from any clan. The most famous and feared Orc warboss, Ghazghkull Fracker, has led this clan in many mighty wars, which is a gathering of Orcs usually beyond counting. The Evil Sons, clad in painted red armour. This culture has one simple belief: red makes things go faster. It's worth noting that the Orcs are one of the most powerful psychic races created by the Old One, as it's their very belief that makes things happen, so red truly does actually make them go faster. As a result of this tenet, they host more vehicles, bikes and aircraft than any of the other Orc clans and are always searching for greater thrills. This has led to them having many great pilots, more than a match for any Imperial Navy candidate. And finally, the Badmoons. The Badmoons don't specialise in anything except one area. Their teeth grow faster than any Orc clan. In Orc culture, teeth are currency, so this has led to the Badmoons becoming somewhat of a merchant caste who are able to pay others to do their dirty work. Although they love a fight as much as the next Orc, they will often pay for mercenaries whilst they sit back with their fancy guns, risking the life of others before their own. It isn't uncommon for other clans to capture groups of Badmoons just so they have a steady flow of currency. There are a few characters that I wanted to mention that don't come up in the suggestions, but are well worth a look at when you either expand beyond the contents of this video or decide to do your own army build. The standard warboss is a combat monster, getting close to double his attacks when the war is called, whilst the big mech with his force field provides a solid invulnerable save to his unit, making what would otherwise be a bunch of Orcs in t-shirts suddenly quite durable. But continuing on with durability, the Pain Boy acts like a medic, and that provides a feel no pain save, which is taken after armour saves. This comes in mega useful when you are running large groups of 20 models, as you will get a lot of value out of it, and it will save a lot of models. The first 1000 point army we have put together is based on the Combat Patrol box set, with a few additions and suits the Goths perfectly. So of course, you purchase the Combat Patrol, and then a further 2 boxes of Orc Boys, and 2 boxes of Mega Knobs, and a Weird Boy. The Warboss joins the Mega Knobs and takes the Follow Me Lads enhancement to increase the unit's movement to get them to crushing skulls faster. Then the Weird Boy joins one of the units of boys, as his ability to jump will let you pick the unit up and place them anywhere on the board, making them a deadly threat which most armies won't be able to deal with due to the size of the unit, especially at 1000 points, because it's going to be immediately dropped in their face. The other units will help you deal with tougher enemy units and armour, whilst also being able to achieve secondary objectives quite rapidly. There is wiggle room for another enhancement as the list comes to 980 points, whereas the cost will set you back about £220 if you are buying from discount retailers such as Wayland or Element Games. We may have a link below from these places which give the channel a kickback at no extra cost yourself, so check them out if you do decide to go with a Combat Patrol. The Need for Speed collection. Of course, this is the Evil Sons. This list is pure theme, it will still play the game and be a lot of fun. This speedy warband is led by a Death Killer Wartrike who will join one of the unit of Warbikers. The boys each go into a truck to zoom up the board quicker, whilst the other units can fill whatever role you need. I do want to bring your attention to the Rucker Truck Squig Buggy. I don't care what it does in game, I want it. I want to paint it, and I want to commit war crimes with it. Points wise, this falls pretty much bang on the mark at 995. However, the price point is about £346 from discount retailers, which is about 100 more than the previous, as there is no discount box available like the Combat Patrol to get you up to the points faster, so it is worth considering. Now for my favourite of the three, the Badmoons. Is this a peasant? Force. The core of the army is the Beast Snagger Orcs. The more feral Orc groups are led by the Snagger Warboss. These guys will have bonuses when they fight harder, bigger vehicles or creatures, and these will be acting as the paid mercenaries, whilst the famous mercenary, Captain Badruck, sits at the back with his flashgits and their snaz guns, picking off key enemy targets. The grots in their killer cans are also on the payroll, whilst some fat Badmoon Orcs sits at home and awaits his battlefield loot. The list itself will play scarily well at 1,000 points, as you have so many tough combat threats on the board, which will be a lot for anyone to deal with, whilst your ranged firepower will take enemy units apart. I think if I was doing a list, I would go for this one, as it's got a lot of fun models from the Orc range, whilst also being effective and themed. It fills the point total and comes in at £256, so also very reasonable. The only thing I will note with this is I couldn't find Captain Badruck on the GW site or anywhere outside of eBay, so I'm not sure what's going on there. It may be better to switch him and the flash kits out for some looters and a different hero to buff them. The hands down winner for me is the core army. It has everything you need to play a game of 40k, including effective ways of scoring secondaries and dealing with all threats. It's by far the easiest way to expand by sticking to the goth theme, as they pretty much utilise anything and everything. It's also the most affordable at £220. There is this A Peasant Force comes in second, as it's my favourite and the next best price point. It's a list and theme I would have a ton of fun with, whilst being able to utilise orc memes about superiority, and the idea of having the more savage cousins of the Badmoons be paid to do all the dangerous up-close fighting is thematic and quite amusing to me. The Need for Speed Evil Sons force, like the other two, would still be a really fun option, despite it having the highest financial cost. The upside of this army is that it has the most interesting models to paint, whilst also being the lowest model count out of all the armies, meaning you could likely paint this army faster than the other two, which is something well worth considering before diving into a 40k project. And on top of that, it's got more unique models, whereas the other two armies you'll be painting a lot of like Orc Boys and similar models. My personal experience collecting Orcs is, well, I want to collect these nutcases once I've cleared my Dark Angels backlog. My personal plan is to go for an army with a strong theme around the Orc commandos applying early pressure by being in my opponent's face, whilst Death Dreads and other mechanical monsters make their way up the board. Will it be good? I don't know. Will it be fun? Of course it will. They're Orcs, and it's a lot of orky goodness. The true mammoth of the hobby is getting your army painted. There is never any need to rush, and I've included a few tutorials here to get you on your way. As always, Duncan Rhodes makes an appearance. His tutorials are some of the best, and he includes a basic stage and an advanced stage in all his tutorials, allowing you to have nice looking models on the table quickly, whilst allowing you to take them further at a later date should you wish. Highly recommended. I even learn stuff from this guy from time to time. 52 Miniatures has produced a decent video where he covers all the different clans and funky skin colours. These come with the benefit of him having a nice voice and a clear method of filming. For those of you wanting to spend probably about 42 years painting your orcs, the beast of the painting scene and multiple-time Golden Demon winner Richard Gray has produced an amazing tutorial just for orc skin. It's worth watching even if you are new, as you can work backwards or apply some of the more refined steps to your characters to make them really stand out from the rest of the pack. As for my final thoughts, the Orcs are fantastic. They're easily one of the best armies to collect and paint due to their quirky nature and having a massive range to choose from. The majority of armies will be towards the higher end on the model count spectrum, so do consider your painting process and how much time you can dedicate to painting. Of course, by being an Orc player, you are allowed to spell anything that you want wrong, whilst also being able to shout "Wah!" and scream down a hall whenever you declare it. This is widely accepted, and I have seen it at pretty much every tournament I've been to that's had an Orc player. The Orcs are easy to learn. They mainly want to get to combat and smash things. Their rules reflect this. They do have some nice tricks in their arsenal and some other little sneaky tactics to utilise and master, so remember to turn your Orc brain off now and then and read your rules. Thanks for watching everyone, and if you learnt something, drop us a sub, like and comment. If you want to support us further, all videos we produce have the thanks option for a one-off donation, but we also have the Patreon, which starts at £3 a month with some extra benefits, should you want to do that. But honestly, just watching through and dropping a comment is enough. Wah.